All right. Next up, we've got Kansas State and Colorado in the Big 12. Kansas State, 4.5-point road favorites, 56.5, I should say, the total here in this game. Has Deion Sanders in Colorado turned a corner, I guess is the big question, right? Because there's no doubt the last couple weeks, albeit the Baylor game was, without a Hail Mary pass, they lose that game. But then to, have a beatdown like they did against UCF after that on the road, very impressive, although not as impressive after seeing UCF stumble and sputter against Florida over the weekend. But they've covered 3 in a row. The road win by 28-9 against Colorado State started this little streak after the Nebraska loss. The win against Baylor, the win on the road at UCF, and outright as double-digit underdogs. They're off a bye week as well, Deion and Colorado. For this game. So we'll see if they can get themselves in a place to be well prepared. Unfortunately, Kansas State, unfortunately for Colorado, Kansas State's off a bye too from that 42-20 win over Oklahoma State at home. Probably one of the better games throwing the football we've seen out of Avery Johnson. We know he can run, he's athletic, but 259 through the air, 3 passing touchdowns in that win against Oklahoma State. That was certainly good to see. Better passing attack proficiency and efficiency and explosiveness from the passing game of K-State. We know they've got Giddens running the football, who's excellent as well. So they can be a very balanced offense if we get that version of Avery Johnson on a regular basis. And that's going to be the question. I think what was surprising to me about the UCF game is Colorado had no run game to speak of this year. And finally, they got the run game going a little bit. 128 on the ground against UCF. It's a step in the right direction. We'll see if they can keep that rolling here. Kansas State's been phenomenal at home at the Little Apple, but two road games this year. The Tulane game they nearly lost, easily could have lost because I thought the Tulane Green Wave got screwed out of a game-tying touchdown, and it should have been they called it offensive pass interference on Tulane, and it ended up costing them, and Kansas State hangs on 34-27. They did not cover in that game. And then we all saw the BYU game. Now, there was some, crazy bad luck for Kansas State, too, as, things just snowballed against them in the second and third quarter. Fumbles and punt return touchdowns and fumble return touchdowns and all that. And suddenly they were up 6-0 and then down 31-6 to BYU in the blink of an eye. But the fact remains, we've seen 2 data points here for Kansas State on the road, and they're 0-2 against the spread in those games. So I feel they can match up in the trenches with they could beat up Colorado in the trenches here, because I think K-State's better in the trenches than Colorado. But somehow, some way on the road, they've had lapses. Like I said, they almost lost to Tulane on the road. They got buried by BYU. Colorado's coming in off a bye week with a little momentum. I'm actually leaning to Deion and the Buffs here at +4.5. CMAC, what do you think here? Good Big 12 matchup, K-State, Colorado.
I know, so am I here. I think, from the inside out, like the lines, the offensive defensive lines are better for K-State, but Colorado, just playing better, feeling it a little bit, and that's what it takes. 2 schools. And at home,
still have a few more playmakers than Kansas State with Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball, and
he's been
all the Wester, the receiver. I mean, they've just got Shador, of course, the ultimate playmaker.
Of course, and he's been really good. This has just been a little bit, tough. I know they went in a tight game and came through against Tulane, and they've been pretty good on the road. I just think if this game is close, which I think it is, especially as Colorado line's been a little bit better, if they can hold up with the playmakers that they have, and of course Sanders.
That's going to decide the game, because K-State's no joke in the trenches.
Yeah, and one thing I like, the defense hasn't been. We'll see, because I think Kansas State can move the ball in this one as well. Can we get over? I don't know. Colorado played a little bit more unders. The last 2 have gone over. Obviously, that Baylor game and the UCF. Waiting for him at home. This place should be going nuts here in Boulder. I'm leaning to Colorado. Catching the 5 at home. I think this game could be really good. It could win outright, or it was a close game, field goal or 4 points. And a tight when they lose.